welcome to our IATEFL live show. I'm very, truly excited. I know I say that in all of the shows, but we are less than a week away before my favorite week of the year, which is the IATEFL Conference Week. So let's welcome together Alex and Chris, who are Alex, our IATEFL president, and Chris, our incoming IATEFL vice president. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, Georgia. Good to be here.
Hi, Georgia.
Good to see you.
So, from 1 to 10, 10 is super excited. 1, I don't care. How excited are you for the conference next week?
About, I don't know, 50? Can I say that?
Oh,
Can I use that
I'm
number?
even more than that. I'll give myself about 100. 100 out of 10. I'm not sure that works, but
yeah, really, really excited.
A lot of people associate IATEFL with the knowledge and the sessions and the networking, but there's more to it, isn't there?
Yes, there's always more to IATEFL. So yeah, absolutely. Yes, we love the annual conference because of all the learning happening during the week and all of the sharing happening. But we should not forget that the annual conference also has that social part as well, and that we organize different social evening events for all conference delegates. And that's the chance to actually meet new people, meet friends, okay, have fun, talk, and just kind of relax after a very long day of learning and sharing. So, for example, on Monday, we start with a welcome reception, and it's a great chance to kind of say hello to everyone who's there on Monday, because Monday is the day for the pre-conference events. It's not the main conference day, but it's a chance to see a lot of people, to have some fun before the main conference actually starts. So I really look forward to seeing everyone on Monday, 5:30 for our welcome reception at the Brighton Center. Chris?
yeah, on Tuesday we've got something new and exciting for you, a social event, and it's I guess it's fair to say that ELT people do like to have little arguments sometimes, or should we say lively discussions. Well, we're actually going to facilitate those lively discussions and try and control them with something called dynamic duets. Dynamic duets does not involve singing. That's later. Dynamic duets is basically an opportunity for two people, could be friends, could be colleagues, they could even be complete strangers who they've met online, as long as they're at the conference, to have a discussion about any topic. But it's a very clipped, a very tight discussion, because the total discussion time is 5 minutes. That's 2.5 minutes for, 2.5 minutes against. The topic can be anything. It could be an ELT topic, or it could be anything else that the two people want to talk about, as long as we think it's suitable, of course. So far, we've got people talking about AI, people talking about EdTech. We've got people talking about Latin American football, which I won't understand any of, but I assume it to be interesting. And we've also got people talking about, well, me and one other person talking about climate change and language teaching. There's still a few spaces. If anybody's interested, has a burning topic, do get online, hit the form, fill it in. You do need a friend, you do need a colleague. And if you need any props, if you want to bring along anything at all for your talk, bring it along. There will be a projector there and a slide and a laptop if you need it, but it should be fun. We all like a good argument, don't we?
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Absolutely. And let's not forget that on the same day, on Wednesday, we have the international quiz as well. So if you are into quizzes, start putting together your team and join us on Wednesday at 8 p.m. right after Dynamic Duets to compete a little bit, okay? And let's see who will be the winner of this year's international quiz.
Tuesday's a day of competition then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we'll call it Competitive Tuesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Chris.
Wednesday, sorry,
yes,
Tuesday.
yes.
Wednesday.
Tuesday is something different. We have something else on the program. Yeah, but if you are into sharing stories, then you should join us on Thursday for our traditional sharing stories event with David and Harry, and that would be your chance to kind of share maybe your personal stories, or maybe some traditional stories from your countries, because we know that we have conference delegates coming from all over the world. And this is a place where you can exchange beautiful, wonderful stories and kind of connect with different cultures and make some new friends and see old friends as well. And then after you share your stories, you come join me at 8 o'clock for our very first lip sync battle. And what that means is there's no physical fighting, of course. So you don't even have to sing. Yeah, I hope. Well, you know, we're all ELT professionals. So you don't actually have to sing. You just need to be able to open your mouth to the lyrics of a song that you choose. And you can do the lip sync battle together with a friend. So you can perform a duet, a real one, or you can perform on your own. There will be judges, okay, who will be judging your performance, how well you can open your mouth to a song. But what is important here is that it's not only about the song, it's about the whole performance. So clothes, makeup, maybe even some props, and just making it a lot of fun for everyone. We still have a few spots available, so if you would like to join us and be part of our very first lip sync battle, just fill in the form that is on the IATEFL conference website. And then, yeah, see you on Thursday for the lip sync battle. And I think that all of these social events, okay, maybe sound fun now online, but if you join us live in Brighton, they will be even more fun. I promise you that. Okay, so please fill in the forms, join us for the dynamic duets, join us for the lip sync battle, international quiz, sharing stories, and just have fun. Okay, so learn during the day, have fun in the evenings.
And I've been trying to make a list of excuses why I don't have to do the lip sync, none of which has been accepted by Alex. And my most recent one is that I'm washing my hair that night, but I realised there's a slight flaw with that argument. So
no,
I
may
be there or I may not. We'll see.
No excuses, Chris, at all. So I guess I'll see you on Thursday for the battle.
Well, definitely.
We'll see. You know what? I can testify. While I was listening to both of you talking about the social events, I had memories of previous conferences. First of all, the welcome on Monday it always feels like some sort of reunion and Christmas, because you meet with people you've met in previous conferences, and it's an annual reunion that is absolutely brilliant. So it is the moment when you say, hey, I remember you from last year, and then you meet together, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree, Georgia. Yeah, but especially when you actually see someone face to face, someone that you've been friends online, but never actually met in real life, and that's even better. You go like, oh, I know you from Facebook, we're friends there, or we follow each other on Instagram, and it's really a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter always. That's what I remember about welcome reception that we have every year. So lots of fun.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So we will have John with us, who is going to give us an update. But first of all, let's go and see an ad. Let's see. And we are back with John. John, welcome.
Georgia, lovely to see you, Georgia. I'm going to be seeing you in person very, very soon. It's coming on so quickly, isn't it?
I can't wait.
Okay. So this is the moment where we really want to tell everybody who's planning to come to Brighton the basic information that you need to know. We'll go through that, and then we're going to finish off coming back with Alex and Chris, who are very experienced at attending conferences, and they're going to give you the real tips you need about making the most out of your conference. But Georgia, let me tell you about Brighton, just in case you haven't been through and organised everything. first thing to say is, if you're traveling from an airport or from somewhere within the UK, getting to Brighton, you may well arrive either at the train station or at the coach station. If you're at the train station, it's a walk. Just head for the sea. That's the easiest thing. And if you're coming from the coach station, just turn right and follow along. And I've pointed out 3 places here. The first one, the Brighton Centre, that's where the conference is going to be held, and that's where you need to go first. That's where you can pick up your delegate badge and your conference program and your bag and everything else. But then we have some additional session rooms right next door in the Grand Brighton, literally next door to the centre. And the reason we've put in the Holiday Inn, which is just a little bit further down the road, is that for some people attending some of our pre-conference events on the day before the conference starts, I can say on Monday now, that some of those will be at the Holiday Inn, but everybody's starting point is at the Brighton Centre along the seafront on King's Road. Hopefully everybody has had a chance now to have a look at the conference program. You can go to our website and you can download it now and have a look and plan your week. There are over 500 academic sessions. So really good, sensible idea to have a look through that program. When you arrive at the venue and register and get your delegate badge, we'll also offer you a conference program. And in terms of our sustainability, you have the choice at that point, whether you want to pick up a printed program or whether you prefer to use the digital version, which you'll be able to scan there. And the digital version has just a little bit more information about the abstracts for each session. But some people prefer the printed program to make notes in and to take home and reference if they're sharing information. So you'll have the choice of being able to do that. If I can, 2 really useful areas of the of the conference program. First of all, at the start of each day, we started this last year and it was really popular, a highlights page. And that really just focuses on the really big things happening on each of those days, from special interest groups running their open forums, through the social program, what's happening on the pop-up stage, what's happening on the IATEFL stage, who is speaking in terms of the plenaries, and literally the whole day in one page. And then you can follow through and see each of the sessions in more detail. So that's a useful page to look out for. And another one, which is always popular and so useful, at the back of the program there are what we call our quick reference pages, and that's literally an overview of all of just the academic sessions, but you can literally say by time slot what's happening where and make your way to the next session that you want to attend. So those are the things to really look out for in the social program, which, as I say, you can download now and start having a look through. The program also talks about such an important part of our conference, which is the exhibition. As big as ever, the ELT exhibition this year, but for the very first time, we're actually going to be, we've had to spread it over 2 floors. So you'll literally be surrounded by the exhibition as you move around the conference, which is exciting. Over 50 stands for you to explore. And it's just that opportunity to find out what's new, what's happening, what are the new publications, what are those online platforms that you could be using, what are the opportunities for you to be able to undertake a course, develop yourself, job opportunities, all sorts of things. And most importantly, great place to go and get a nice cup of tea or coffee free of charge as you're wandering around as well. So that's the exhibition. As I said, there are over 50 stands this year, but they're split between the ground floor. When you walk into the venue, you'll see some of them in front of you. And on the first floor, right in front of our plenary stage, is the second part of the exhibition. And 2 specific areas. We always have All of the stands are there for all delegates to visit, but there are a couple of zones which we always sort of highlight. One is our introducing zone, and that is for exhibitors who've never exhibited with us before or not for a very long time. So these are newbies. There's a great opportunity to see what's different and what's new. And also the career development zone, which really is exhibitors specialized and focusing on opportunities for the delegates to be able to undertake courses, to see job opportunities, and focus on the sort of building your career, as it were. So that's a really important part of our exhibition we get very excited about. Georgia, we've got something else new this year, which I really love the idea. As you know, we always run on the very first morning at the break time an opportunity for first timers to meet up, to get to know each other, so that you don't feel, gosh, I don't know anybody. You get an opportunity to make some friends that you'll very often bump into over the rest of the week. Well, we wanted to take that a step further. So that's happening again on the morning break, but then every morning and afternoon break and every lunchtime on the IATEFL stand, which is right behind the registration desk, we're having meetups. It's absolutely free. It's absolutely your choice whether you want to turn up or not. But as our role is also about networking and helping bring people together, you'll see that if you're a manager, a director, an academic leader, Tuesday lunchtime is the time for you. If you work in a primary or secondary school, Tuesday afternoon. And throughout the week, we've identified different groups of professionals which we're giving the opportunity to bump into each other, get to know each other better. You may know each other online, but this is a great opportunity for you to get to know each other face to face, make those connections and make friends. And I think that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that.
Such a brilliant idea.
It's great.
John, this is brilliant.
It's going to keep us all busy, but I think that's, everybody says this is such an important part of the IATEFL conference. It's, of course, about the learning experience, but it's also about the connecting experience. Okay. Alex and Chris have already mentioned in great detail some of our exciting new social events, but there's a full program happening throughout the week, right from the welcome reception, which Alex was talking about on the Monday, and then on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's something happening. And every morning, a great way to start your conference every morning, there's a mindfulness session. And everybody can find their calm zone and prepare themselves for the madness to come. So that's always a popular and a nice thing to join in with. Okay, that is, I think, the sort of key basic information about the conference. I would add that online booking has now closed. But that doesn't mean you can't attend. If you're too late, it means you can just turn up on the day, you can register on the day for a single day or for the whole conference and join with us. So if you haven't made plans yet, it's not too late. Okay, I think we're going to stop there. And then in a minute, we're going to come back and bring back Alex and Chris and gain some experience from them about what do you need to do, what do you need to take to make the best of your conference experience.
Amazing. Welcome everybody in the team. So we have got Sean, we have got Alex, we have got Chris, we have got John. Hello, everybody. Can I just say that I'm very excited because the IATEFL live team is also getting together. So we will have Nikki and Anka with us next week.
We
And
will.
you know us, we will be running around the whole conference center with our comfortable shoes and just interviewing people.
Very much looking forward to it. It's always good to work with you all for that 1 week. It's a crazy
That's
week.
the first tip of the day, isn't it? Comfortable shoes.
Comfortable shoes. I was
I'll
going to say
make a note of
there was a tip on there. I just realised I've taken your slides off screen, John, haven't I? Do you want them back on?
No, I think we're fine like that.
Okay. So we're meeting to talk tips, I guess.
Yeah.
First time in for maybe to help people with it. Comfortable shoes was our first tip.
Oh yeah,
What
definitely
else?
comfortable.
Experienced attendees. What else would you recommend to somebody who's attending maybe Brighton or the IATEFL conference for the first time? What's important?
Okay, can I start? Is it okay? Okay, so comfortable shoes, definitely. So if anyone is thinking of bringing high heels, don't forget about them. Okay, comfortable shoes, sneakers, whatever. Okay, so that you can last all day long. And another very important thing is bring your water bottle. Okay, you need to hydrate during the day. It's very important because you will also be drinking lots of coffee. So coffee and water absolutely go together. So make sure you have your water bottle with you. And because I checked the weather forecast for Brighton, it will be nice but windy. So that means bring something that has some kind of a hoodie or whatever, because that's one thing that I always bring with me to the UK. Okay, I always have something. Okay, with a hood, whether it's a hoodie or a jacket or whatever, because of the wind. But also,
it's the UK,
yeah,
and it's by the sea, so
absolutely,
we're an island, and it's spring, so
exactly.
the weather
it's gonna be chilly.
it's going to be a little bit chilly.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, don't forget that Brighton ice cream. So make sure you get some ice cream during the week as well. Okay, because that's something that I will definitely be doing. Yeah.
I can't confess to ever having had an ice cream in Brighton. Is it particularly good?
I think it's really, really good, Sean. And that's the only thing like sweet that I eat. So ice cream is a must for me in Brighton next week. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, it is really good. Yeah.
It's not that it's really good. It's just that it's a challenge to not have it eaten by the seagulls. You've got to think
about the seagulls.
Yeah.
Seagulls are not your friends, are they?
No. But maybe, bring something that can protect you from the seagulls. But, that's a whole different story, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, ice cream for sure.
I'd stayed on the food note. It was the Facebook group there, what they called the freelance publishers. They have little meetups, and I think they had a pre-IATEFL meetup a week or so ago where they were talking about a similar thing about tips to do that. And of course they were talking about the water or whatever, but there was one tip, I think it was from Catherine Billsborough. She said, bring some miso soup. And I thought that was a really interesting tip, just for a change, because in your hotel rooms, you've probably got a kettle, because most UK hotel rooms have a kettle. And it's, or if you're going into the break, there's often hot water at the break stands. So just for a change, bring some miso soup with you, which is refreshing. And she's not the only person I know that does that. So I know other people that actually bring miso soup to conferences for that reason. So I think that's an original tip. That's not one I had heard before. I flashed up briefly Peter. Hi Peter, we'll be seeing you next week, interviewed next Tuesday, I think. So Peter put, it's overwhelming, there's no harm in taking a little time out for the conference. I always think that's a really good tip to come up.
I think
go on, Chris.
I think I absolutely agree with Peter. I think one way to not feel a kind of swamped and drowning in it is a bit of planning before. I mean, as you say, there's over 500. You can't go to all 500 talks. Well, you could go very briefly to all of them, but that's probably not a very good idea. Is to kind of plan it almost a military style campaign about where I'm going to go and then where I'm going to go, where I'm going to go there. So I think that because a lot of the overwhelm, you feel overwhelmed. You're not quite sure what to do next. Should I go here? Should I go there? As you've sat down a day or two before or on the train over or something and say, okay, I'll go there. And on that theme of choosing where to go, of course, I like to go to areas that I'm already familiar with. But what I really like about something like IATEFL is to go out of my comfort zone. There are many areas of ELT I know very little about. And that's where I'll often push myself. Well, that's amazing. I didn't know this was going on, particularly geographical. You've got somebody speaking from a country. I don't know much about the context. I don't know much about how they do ELT there. And it's a real pleasure to go and engage with someone. Think, well, this is going on in certain name of country, and I didn't know it. So I would say familiar topics, yes, but also outside your comfort zone.
Yeah,
sorry, Alex, go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about feeling overwhelmed, that is perfectly fine if you take a break during the day and just go to your hotel room or take a walk or whatever, because yes, conferences can be quite overwhelming and we shouldn't feel guilty, taking a 10-minute walk and then coming back to the conference center. I think it's very important to be kind of aware when that feeling comes, okay? And to be able to recognize it, and then you can say to yourself, okay, I need a break, I feel overwhelmed, or you can just sit in some corner, okay? You don't have to talk.
I was going to say, Alex, we actually have a designated quiet zone within the conference this year.
Yeah, so that's the place to go to when you feel overwhelmed. So yeah, definitely think about your mental health and whatever you need to do to make sure that during the conference you feel relaxed and not overwhelmed with things.
I think that's really good advice, because I mean, we've been going to IATEFL for many years now, and I can't try and recall every year what it's like going for the first time, because there is really nothing like going to IATEFL. I mean, there are many ELT conferences, but it is, just that walk through, the amount of people you're there, and I think often people are there. They've saved them a lot of money to go, or they're there on because they've been sent by somebody else, so they feel that extra responsibility to go to every session or get involved in everything. And I think it's really important what Alex just said and what Chris said. If you can't find a session, if there's no session jumps out to you in one of those parallel sessions, don't go. Do something else. There is, be quiet, take the exhibition, go and sit. I mean, the thing about Brighton is the sea is across the road. So we can go there with it. I would add one more thing to what Chris was saying about choosing the sessions to go to as well. I think one thing that adds extra stress is remembering where the rooms are. This is a big conference venue, and there could be you could be in this room and you need to get to that room. And that might be, although there is break time, that adds extra stress because you might need 10 minutes to get to the other side. So I think that's something to think about, where your rooms are.
I'm going to say, Sean, that we have a whole team of stewards who will be around the venue. You'll recognize them because they'll all be wearing red T-shirts, and they're there to help and guide people, because you're quite right. Whilst we have a gap between the sessions for people to move around, it's a big venue, and of course we're also in the hotel next door. So absolutely, that's it. Just speak to one of the stewards; they'll be happy to guide you around. And don't forget, there's a map in the conference program as well.
I think I come at it from somebody that looks at the maps, asks the stewards, but I still get lost because I have even on day 4, I'm still like, where
But I think the thing to say for first time is it is a bit daunting. It's a bit like a really busy railway station or something, isn't it, with people, and everybody else seems to know where they're going and what they're doing, except you. And of course, they don't any more than you do in most cases. ELT people are very friendly. You've only got to say, oh, I'm looking for X, Y, Z, or do you know where this is? Where's the bathroom? Where can I get a coffee? Okay, we've got the stewards, fine. But there are other people. ELT folk are really generally, they may look a bit frenetic because they're also looking for the room. Ask anybody. People are really friendly and supportive.
And
they'll turn it into a language learning exercise. They'll give you flashcards and dictography.
Oh, absolutely.
I was about to say get into pairs, but because I think it's
going a bit far. Yeah,
no. But it is that I think if you've gone to a session on your own, or you've traveled to conference on your own, you're not with a group of people. You're picking up on that friendly aspect. When you sit down next to somebody in the conference, talk to them, and it is that ELT friendliness, I think, that people do. So when I say get into pairs, I mean like talk to the person next to you. Don't just sit there in silence waiting for a session to begin. I think most people I want to engage in that. And Alex mentioned it in the first half of the show. I mean, the welcome reception is an amazing time to go and meet people, because everybody's there. and milling around, etc. So I think, really get stuck into it, and don't and go if you are a first timer. That the session on the Tuesday, the first time session is really good to meet like-minded people as well. So I'd really circle both those things.
Yeah, and also because all of the trustees will be there, of course. If you see a trustee, stop them if you want to ask some questions about IATEFL or the conference, or if you just need help. Okay, I'm sure that we will also be able to help you with the rooms where they are, or whatever you might need, because we're all there to support our conference delegates. So whatever you need, just come up to us and ask us. And Sean, I completely understand that what you just said. If you're there on your own, okay, don't worry. You have a whole network of people who can support you, help you. Talk to anyone that you can find around you if you feel a little bit, shy, or you're not really sure whether you should go somewhere or do something, etc. Just find a conference buddy, okay? Because I'm sure there will be plenty of people who will be there on their own. Just find a conference buddy, your IATEFL conference buddy, and just do things together, okay? Learn about IATEFL and the annual conference, and support each other. So yeah, don't worry if you're coming alone. We're there to support you all the way.
And I add to that, there were no silly questions. There were no stupid questions.
Exactly.
I don't want to ask. Ask away. Ask one of the trustees. Ask anyone at the desk. Nobody minds.
I feel like I've got a challenge now to find a question that's utterly silly.
Yeah, I thought as soon as I said that, I realised the mistake I'd made. Normally, there are no stupid questions until Sean thinks of
Sorry, but you're right. Sorry.
I mean, people will help you basically, whether it's people from IATEFL, whether it's other delegates. People will help you definitely.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So warm ice cream, comfortable shoes.
Oh, Sean, I've got the list here. I've got it. Comfortable shoes, water bottle, something with a hood, ice creams and miso soup, although I'm not sure we're supposed to mix the two together.
No, I don't know.
Go to those.
A wasabi ice cream and a miso soup.
Take some time out and find a quiet zone. Plan your week in advance. Go out of your comfort zone as well. Ask stewards if you get lost. Talk to the person next to you and find a conference buddy. And the last one was find a trustee, which I find quite intimidating. But
yeah, yes. I'm going to add one that's personal to me, because obviously I'm coming to the end of my volunteering journey, this IATEFL. But when I went to my first IATEFL, the one thing that opened, I knew I was going to say I knew it was a big conference, and I knew there was going to be lots of things to do. But the thing that really struck me was how I could get involved in IATEFL. And obviously this changed what I then did. You realize that if you've never been, or you might be a member, I'll try and articulate something sensibly. For me, IATEFL was always, when I lived in the Czech Republic, it was this massive organization, this big conference, this kind of mecca kind of almost place that I was going to go to. And then having arrived at my first conference and realized how big it was, but also how friendly everybody was, but then how much you could get involved, and that by attending, going to either those meetups, or going to the special interest group open forums that are held, or going to the AGM, you realize there are so many opportunities to actually further yourself as a volunteer. And so my advice would be, when you're going to IATEFL, enjoy it as a conference, but enjoy it also. Let it open your eyes to what the organization is and what you can actually do for the association with it. I mean, you can have a whale of a time. I've had a brilliant 15 years of volunteering, so I would always recommend it to people. And I think that's just something we tend to overlook, that it's not just the conference, it is the association, and where the association is on show fully at conference, and that's where we should be. So it's a bit personal, and it might not be for everyone, but I do think it's something that is a good tip.
Yeah, but it's not only. Oh, sorry, Georgia, go ahead.
To be honest, yes, it was the same for me as well, because when I first joined IATEFL in 2016, I was thinking, I was so inspired by all of the sessions, and I was thinking, you know what, I do have good ideas as well. I want to be involved. in IATEFL, and by experiencing the conference to the fullest, as we said, with all of the tips, and by joining and getting out of your comfort zone, you get inspired as well, and then you never know where this will lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Georgia, that the SIGs have a huge role in this as well, because for me, Mossic Materials Writing Special Interest Group was kind of a point of entry into IATEFL.
Yeah.
So if you are coming to Brighton next week and you plan to be there on Monday, you can still register even for the PCEs on site, as far as I know, John, right?
That's
so you
absolutely
can
right.
learn
Yeah.
about the SIGs and what wonderful work they do. So you can start volunteering for the SIGs and for the association. And I think it's a wonderful professional journey. So I agree absolutely with Sean. It is very fulfilling. So I always encourage people to start volunteering for IATEFL or their National Teachers Association, because it is something that really helps with the personal and professional development of any teacher.
Yeah, you actually mentioned something really interesting, Alex, because with the national associations, and that's it. You know, the conference is built up on so many different things. You've got all the conference itself, but within the conference, there are all the SIG days within the conference, and the SIGs are on show, and the associates are there, all the different teaching associations that are part there. And I guess people don't realize just how many components there are to IATEFL and how many things that you could see and get involved in. And we're all in that for at least 1 week every year. We're all in the same place, which is always fascinating. It's not part of the conference, but I do feel we should answer Adina's question, because it's a pertinent one. Adina asked, what is the role of a trustee? And I know it's because we've said it a couple of times. We've got two trustees, two incoming trustees on the screen. So maybe we should mention what they are. President, do you want to go for it?
Okay. Okay, so what is the role of a trustee? The role of a trustee is a very responsible one, and it means that you work for the benefit of the association and all of its members. It requires a lot of free time, and it requires a lot of effort, and it is something that is not to be taken lightly. So that's just how I see the role of a trustee. And we are all legally responsible for IATEFL.
Yeah, one way to consider it is the board of trustees. You could call the board of directors. So there are eight trustees, 8 directors who are responsible for the decisions that are taken in IATEFL. At the moment, that's Alex and I, 2 of them. In a week's time, we'll swap over, and Chris will come in as the vice president, and Georgia will replace me, which is an upgrade.
not being a trustee myself, I'm going to add, I think it's so important to state that having trustees who are members of the association means that IATEFL and the conference is by IATEFL, for IATEFL, and for the wider English language teaching community. It's led by teachers themselves, and therefore is relevant and focused on the needs and the interests of English language teaching professionals. So we're a membership association, but we're also a charity. We're not that sort of a commercial organization as such. And so really it's about helping take the association and the profession forward. And I think also any of the volunteer roles, that it's fantastic. IATEFL is dependent on volunteers kindly giving their time and their knowledge and their professional skills, but also it's a really valuable professional development opportunity. You can learn by volunteering as well and build your skills, and that's wonderful to see as well.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize. Maybe this is a good subject for a future live stream, actually, to talk about the organization itself. But people possibly don't realize that, like John, you're the chief executive, you're a paid employee, and you're the staff that run IATEFL, but the decisions are made by the board of directors to you, and then everybody from all the special interest groups of volunteers. IATEFL is full of volunteers. Anyway, you can find out more about that at conference. Come and find us. You will see the trustees.
Go and speak to a trustee.
Come and find us, find the SIG committees, find the coordinators. They'll all be happy to tell you what they do, what their role is, how we all fit together in to make up the organisation that is IATEFL. Any more advice, folks?
I mean, I would say we talked briefly about the exhibition. I mean, do go to the exhibition. 50 odd stands, 55 stands, 50 stands. I can't remember. Anyway, quite a number. And for me, going to meet exhibitors, whether they're publishers, whether they're assessment people, whoever they are, they also want to know what you want, what your community is talking about. They don't. It's not just a question of this is what we produced. They want to listen. So if you have ideas or concerns about whether it's about assessment and evaluation, whether it's about online materials, whatever it's about, go and talk to them. That's what they're there for. That's where they gather their information. It's not just where they obviously they do showcase what they've already produced, but it's also where they can kind of harvest ideas. So again, don't be shy. They'll be very happy to talk to you and say, look, we had problems with this. What do you think about that? Or even to give them feedback on their products. They're very happy because how else do they know what to do next? So do take a chance to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it is a chance, and they're all there to talk to and have conversations with you, aren't they? So
absolutely.
So I don't know who asked the question about the trustees. Is going to be a conference, so we do expect you to come and find us out.
We'll be looking for you now.
To find out. But I agree, John. I mean, I agree, Chris. And again, that the idea there are 56, I think, 56 exhibitors. Yeah. That's a lot of people to go around. So plan to put that into your plans, into your timing with it, and also be aware when the exhibition is open and when it's not open, because the time.
Absolutely. And right next to the exhibition, we have what we call a pop-up stage, where during the break times, some of the exhibitors will be doing little talks, little demonstrations for 10 minutes or so. And that's a really nice thing to grab a coffee and sit down and just sort of drop a look. You can see on the program which pop-up presentations are happening on which days. So that's well worth looking at as well.
Yeah. And they can also, sorry, Sean, I would just going to mention that they can also meet our new patron as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's an opportunity for that. So yeah, they can meet our new patron, Jen Blake. So yeah, join us.
I was just going to say that also next to the exhibition in 2 Bar, that's where the live stream studio is. So you can come and pop in there, spin the wheel, and have a quick interview with us on there, because we are broadcasting, as the advert said. If you're not going to be in Brighton, we'll be broadcasting. Georgia, myself, Anchor, and Nikki will be broadcasting from 3 till 6 each day on the channels you're watching this on, bringing you interviews from people that are speaking, news and gossip from the conference itself. And then just to remind everyone, if you're not coming to conference, about approximately 8 o'clock every evening UK time, we will show the plenary from the morning recorded, and that will be out on our social media channels. So if you're not going to be in Brighton, or if you are in Brighton and you're back in your hotel room at that time, you can tune into us from 3 till 6 Tuesday to Thursday, and from 8 o'clock Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, there will be the plenary from the morning will be broadcast as live that day. He said, fingers crossed that all the technology works for that. But that's
I was going to say, you did say around about 8 o'clock. What's that all about?
Yeah, around about. Yeah, I know that we've kind of said 8 o'clock. I'm still hoping. It just depends on uploads and stuff like that. But we'll put it at 8 o'clock is our plan, John, shall we say.
Okay, we'll go with that then. Super.
Amazing.
Right.
Excellent. I think...
Time to go pack.
Yes,
I think so.
It's time to pack, actually.
Absolutely.
Mr. IATEFL Bear and I are very excited to go back. So I will be bringing my spinning wheel. So you understand I have got a lot of things to pack, yes.
By spinning wheel, she's not doing exercise. This is something that we use in the live stream, just in case people are confused.
I thought she was playing roulette.
It's the IATEFL Casino. That's a new evening.
Right. I will see you all in Brighton next week.
Absolutely.
Have a very safe journey, everybody, and looking forward to seeing you all.
To you, John.
See you all on Monday.
See you on Monday.
Bye.